Welcome to the special Techegy Podcast, Play or Nay. In this series, we look at games of the past and try to let you know whether you should be looking at them today or not. This evening, we are talking about the Burger King games that came out for the Xbox. These games were released in 2006 and were available for purchase at your local Burger King restaurants. The three games included Sneak King, Pocket Bite Racer, and Big Bumpin. Tonight, we'll be discussing our thoughts on these and whether they're worth playing. JC, I'm gonna let you, because I know that you like these games so much. You bought 2 copies of each, so I'm gonna kick it off to you.
Yeah, so I've actually given Burger King my money 3 separate occasions for these. Back when they came out in 2006, I remember picking them up at Burger King in Indiana, Pennsylvania. Bought all 3 of them then. Don't know what happened to them. Maybe a month or so ago, I bought all 3 brand new on eBay for $11. Opened them, played them. I decided I needed more. Bought 3 more copies, not opened. Someday these will be a gold mine. I don't know when that day will be, but one day. So here's the deal about these games. They're pretty good. They're pretty good. What did they originally sell for? Like, was it like $5 each one or something like that? Like, they were pretty cheap. It's not like they were $20 or anything. Maybe they were 10. I don't remember.
You had to buy a combo, is what I think they were, or something, something like that.
So you had to get food poisoning and to buy the game. So the challenge was actually not dying from eating the food and then getting to play the game. So
I think I actually bought all 3 of them for $3.99 a piece when they first came.
No kidding. So I mean, you already know off the bat what these are going to be. They're available for both Xbox and 360 on the same disc. So I'm pretty sure it's just the original Xbox game, and they're claiming that there's 2 games on there, but I can't prove that. But that's my suspicion. I played them on the original Xbox, all times. But Pocket Bike Racing is all the excitement of Pocket Bike Racing without the lower back pain. The lower back pain actually comes from eating Burger King. That's called constipation. Could also be food poisoning, salmonella, diarrhea, kidney failure. There's a lot of different things that have back pain. Pocket Bike Racing was pretty good. Honestly, I mean, come on, it's like a couple $1 game. What are you gonna get? It had online, right? Yeah, online 2 to 8 players in Pocket Bike Racing, and you just went around and I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. You're on a little bike racing, and that's the game. That's the entire game. I don't know. I don't really have much to say about that one. I think I played this one the least out of all of them. The next one was called Big Bumpin', and I'm gonna take somebody's joke here. Obviously, the blatant one that's right in front of my face, because Big Dumpin' is what the game should be called. It's not that bad. It's just your bumper cars, and you're like I actually thought the music in this one was okay. Like, it was pretty good. It had some corny, like stereotypical I don't know what you want to call it, like theme park music is what was going on. And forget about skill. The game requires just one thing: cheeseburgers. The desire to beat opponents in any manner available to you. That sounds violent. So yeah, that's kind of scary. It's all right. I didn't really again. I mean, I can't really complain too much about like a game that's a couple dollars. I thought the controls in this one were a little iffy. Maybe that was just on the original Xbox compared to like the 360. I don't know. But there's a couple different games you can play: Own the Puck, Last Man Standing, Power Surge, and Dumpin' Hockey. Woohoo! The last one is Sneak King. This is the one I remember playing the most, and I think maybe that's a lot of people. I don't know. Is this the one that came out first? I think did they all come out at the same time, or did you have to buy them like over a course of time? They were out at the same time.
Same day.
I think
same day.
For some reason I remember playing this one the most. And you know what? I think it might be my favorite one. It's the weirdest one, I think, of all of them, just because you're sneaking around neighborhoods, creeping up on people as the Burger King, trying to give them cheeseburgers. They didn't order cheeseburgers. But there you are to satiate their hunger out of the blue from behind. And you can even go in their houses and hide. Like, you just go right in their house, open the door, and you wait for them to walk by and jump out and give them a burger. Realistic. It happens to me every day. That's why I don't go out in public very often. The majestic master of sneak invites you to go behind the mask. Stealth and dexterity are important in this game. You know what else is important? Knowing where the local emergency room is after you eat Burger King. Oh, I don't know. I mean, what do you say about Sneak King? You sneak around and you give out cheeseburgers, like I said. Like, that's the game, right? You hide in garbage cans. Here's your garbage. Yeah, there is. Here's you hide in a garbage can. Here's your dumpster burger, and then they eat it. They take it like one bite, like they lean in and one bite it. And I think the best part is just stalking the women around the town. It just reminds me of, like, you know.
Game were you playing?
Sneak King.
You sure
I
didn't
gotta
let it real
go.
life for you?
It's I mean, I don't know. Like, I have fever dreams sometimes too. You know, I eat a lot of Burger King. What do you think's going on here? So this is only one player, unfortunately, but yeah. So you make royal footsteps of your own or royal crouch marks. I thought that said crotch marks, but that would also pass. So one,
he's
two,
kinda
three. My number 1 is Sneak King. My number 2 is Big Dumpin'. And my number 3 is Pocket Bike Racer. Boom. Those are the Burger King games.
All right. We're going to M2 next.
Me? Got it.
Yes.
All right. So I also own all 3. I also remember getting all 3 when they came out. These are not the original copies. I think I was 10 when they came out. So they came out in what, 06?
6.
Yeah. I would have been like 10. These games, amazing when you're 10, right? So the way I like to put it is you have Big Bumpin', which is kind of like Mario Party, except it's not. It's just Fusion Frenzy, right? But $2 of Fusion Frenzy instead of 30. Pocket Bike Racer, which is like Xbox Mario Kart. If you only played with bikes instead of carts and you were racing around the Burger King parking lot almost exclusively. And then you have Sneak King, which I'm pretty sure fits in somewhere between Metal Gear Solid 4 and Peace Walker,
Absolutely.
but
Yourself.
is basically like, Metal Gear Solid 3 is probably how I'd describe it. And if you notice, mine's because I had to rebuy them, right? So you're able to get them all for $2.99 a piece if you go to the right places. If you notice, this one still has the GameStop sticker on it for $1.99. So it's clearly appreciating in value, right? So it's already gone up $1. I think we said they were what, like $3.99 to start. So give it another 10 years, they might be back to MSRP. I'd also like to point out something. Let me figure out which one of these was the heaviest. So not only did you get this wonderful, wonderful game with all this art, but inside, that is the wrong one. Inside, you also got a 48-hour Xbox Live Edition, little trial, and Give the Gift of Beef, Load, Use, Reload, right? You got a nice little advertisement. So this is a fully complete edition. I'm pretty proud of it. Crown jewel of my collection here. But unfortunately, the other ones aren't fully complete. I've got one that's missing like the live tag, and the other one, someone wiped their butt with the manual. But I have all the manuals. I'm joking around a lot, but it's hard to beat these games at $3, $4, under $5. Even $5, they're good $5 games. Sneak King, you're gonna spend 3 hours playing it just because you're making fun of it the entire time. Pocket Bike Racer, I mean, if you're looking for kind of a goofy Mario Kart game to play with your kids, I mean, you can dress up like a hamburger mascot and race around in it. It's fun. It's goofy. And Big Bumpin', it's perfect if you've got a kid or a significant other that doesn't play games and you just want to give them something stupid to mess around in, and they feel like they're doing something, but it's 10-0 in hockey and you're beating them. I really think these are pretty good. And if I had to rank them, I think gameplay wise, I think Pocket Bike Racer is probably my favorite. I think Big Bumpin' has the least replayability by yourself. But so I'd probably go Pocket Bike, Sneak King, Big Bumpin'. And then I have a wonderful joke, as I always like to do in these. Let's see. Where is it?
Fantastic.
Background. Right? And what I got here is I got the 3 for $9 is back, available at your local Goodwill. Right? So 3 games, $9. Can't really beat that. And I think they hold a special place in my heart and at the bottom of my Xbox Live collection.
Awesome. MC?
Okay, John, I've never played these when I was younger, but John, told me about them, and I bought them online, and I think I got them for $11 with shipping and everything else. So all brand new in the case. I know you can't see that because of the background I got, but anyway, the way I thought Big Bumpin' was okay, but you're running around with a bumper car, and some of the tracks don't have edges, so it's really easy to fall off. If you go too fast, and if you go too slow, it's kind of boring, and you're basically trying to bump other players off the track. There's a number of different tracks. They start you off with, it seems like the hardest one without railings, or at least the one I picked, I guess. So it was easy in the beginning. I didn't know what I was doing right off the track. So out of that one didn't impress me too much. It's a very short, limited game. I don't want to say short game. There's multiple levels there, but you can win a game in less than like 10 seconds just by hitting a couple guys off the track and you're done. So to me that wasn't the most thrilling of them. Sneak King, I thought was the most complex one as far as you could hide in stumps, sneak in buildings, whatever. But, and they had these guys walking around with the cone-shaped dark marker. If you go in that, you get caught. I actually had some trouble beating some of the levels just because you think you can go one way. Like I went over this bridge thinking I'd get there, and then it's a dead end and you can't get there. And then I had to go to Hoy on the other side of the thing. It's not bad. It's, you like they said, you're trying to get to the people to give them the hamburgers, but you got all these other people trying to catch you, and it wasn't too bad. Pocket Racer by far I thought was the best. Not only is it just racing around the parking lot, but they had some side secret, like you could go up a ramp to the side, which you think would take you longer, but then it gives you a ramp that you jump over everybody and you become in the lead then. So there was like 2 hidden at least extra streets you could take to make you beat other players in that. The only thing I didn't understand, I don't know if you guys got, you had them dotted lines like between the cones. Were you supposed to go around them or through them? I think you're supposed to go through them to get a boost, right? But I didn't understand.
The power boost.
That's how you got the power boost, yeah. But why wouldn't you just have? Well, I guess why wouldn't you have the line the whole way across the field? I don't know. I guess in case you got to swerve over to get the boost, but that didn't make too much sense to me. It would have been better if they just had some kind of icon you had to hit, making it tougher, because the lines went 3/4 of the way across. It was pretty easy to hit every line without missing any. If you're going for a power boost, you think you would have had it a little harder, but I thought that was by far the best of them, and it is like a Mario Kart kind of race thing, even though you're on motorcycles or little motorcycles, and they're all have some funny stuff in them, so they're pretty funny. But the way I would rate them is by far Pocket Racer's the best. Sneak King is in second, and then third would be Big Bumpin'. And my thing is, they're not that bad for the price. So next, Andre.
The only one I remember would be Sneak King. I don't know if that had some kind of lasting effect on me or what. The other 2 I don't even remember playing, and I actually owned all 3 when they first came out. I remember going to the Burger King, buying them, and it's a blur from there. So I'm just going to go with Sneak King being my favorite one. And I'll take y'all's words on the other two.
Dre was emotionally scarred by sneaking. That's why he remembers it.
He was. He was.
That
Yeah,
intro
well,
is
hey.
terrifying, like the menu screen where the king's just like appearing and
You
stuff.
know, a lot of people with the Burger King commercials with that ceramic head Burger King were creeped out by him. I mean, they just looked at those and he was creepy looking. I remember my sister Jackie was like, those are the creepiest commercials ever. So Sneak King was really good at capturing the essence of the creepy Burger King commercials at the time, which is behind Michael, because he just randomly, I think at the time too, there was like a commercial where he would just be like in the window like Michael Myers, if I remember correctly. So looking at the games, going back to them, and I just actually for $10 ordered all three sealed so that I have a copy of them for historical purposes. But I have to say my favorite by far was Pocket Bike Racer, and I had a lot of fun with that one. I thought it was probably the most fun of the games. It actually behaved like a game. The mechanics were good. The physics were good. It was actually fun. So that was probably the one I put the most time in. I'd have to say that Big Humpin' would be the second one that I enjoyed. It wasn't great, but I just didn't like Sneaking. I thought that was the one that was probably the weakest of the three. Big Humpin' was at least entertaining. So it's kind of I'd rank them. Power Bike, Big Humpin', and then Sneak Queen, and go from there.
Hey,
So
what'd you guys think? What'd you guys think of the beginning of the games? That actually looked more impressive than the games themselves, where they had like the moving background, I mean, it had like some kind of city or farm behind him, and he's like the king's racing down there. That would have been a better game in itself.
I
I
really
like
think they should have made a series of movies based off of these. You could have had Stephen King directing them, or
so
M. Night
what you're saying is
Shyamalan.
it would be like Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah, but I mean, they're good. They're good games, and Sneak King was my favorite. Like I said, Sneak King, Big Dumpin', and Pocket Bike Racer was my lineup. And
Pool Racer, did I hear you say that correctly?
Pocket Bike Racer.
Yeah, Pocket Pool Racer.
Yeah, Pocket Pool Racer. But the main thing about Sneak King is it's a little bit of trespassing mixed with some voyeurism, and we all know that that's how you have it your way.
It's Sam Fisher. It's Splinter Cell.
It is. Well, I liked M2's comparison to Metal Gear Solid. It's clear that was an inspiration on this game, and I think it gives it a run for its money.
What was it? Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops Plus on the PSP plays exactly like this, but instead of giving them a Whopper, you're whopping them in the back and taking them back to your base to turn them to your side. Like, it's the same gameplay loop. I mean, you can't go prone in Sneak King, but I think that's just because the king should never lower himself to the level of peasants. But I think the essence of the game is there.
I agree exactly, and I'm really upset that the competition did not release games to compete with this. I mean, McDonald's has characters they could have used.
You could have had
Long John Silver's.
Grimace one. Sneak Grimace.
Well, Grimace is already now a social media dumb thing where everybody's doing the social media on TikTok and Instagram where they're drinking the Grimace shake and then dying from drinking it and foaming purple at the mouth and stuff like that. I don't know if anybody's seen those, but I've seen them. But
What about a Hamburglar GTA game?
That
like top-down Hamburglar GTA. You're robbing from the other restaurants, and they're all parody restaurants. It's like Burger
That'd be
King and
great.
Burger Queen.
if anyone working at McDonald's that has any sway in this, I'm not talking like a cashier or anything, is listening to this, you should make that game like a GTA 1 or 2 clone, but as McDonald's characters in it. Keep the guns.
Could have.
I think they should have.
Have.
I think they should have made a Burger King RPG in the vein of like Skyrim, but you played the king.
Bully.
Yeah.
For the McDonald's one, you could be running around with the McFlurry machine, and that's the gun, and that also is canon to why they never work.
Well, maybe you can shoot French fries. You can shoot French fries at people.
Oh yeah.
Like child oriented.
Yeah.
You have a Zaxby's Frogger
Back in the
clone
box
where the
one would be
Zaxby's chickens trying to cross the road.
Okay.
It's amazing.
There you go. You do a Punch Out clone, but with the what's the chicken? The cow.
From
the
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A. I couldn't remember the name of the company for some reason. Yeah, you do the cow, and he could just beat the crap out of, all the other mascots.
You could have a crossover with the cow, and Kung Pao enter the fist.
Why was there never a fighting game with all the fast food representatives in it?
You might just
Oh,
gave someone
what
an
is it?
idea.
Arcane Rivals on Steam has full Steam Workshop integration, and you can make custom characters and import. And my favorite character is actually Ronald McDonald because he is very broken.
Well, doesn't McDonald's have a bunch of games? Like on Sega, didn't they have a game in that? And they were actually really good.
Yeah, they've had quite a few. They've had them on Nintendo, Sega. I think they've even I don't think recently, but I think there was one even on PlayStation. And of course there was Pepsi Man on PlayStation.
Pepsi Man, that was great.
Another
but I played the
classic.
McDonald's one on Sega, and I thought it was really good.
Yeah, there's one called like Ronald McDonald in Kitty Land or something like that.
Well, there's a Mick and Mac too that he's in. Too,
Yeah,
or
I
something
remember.
Yeah.
Mick and Mac.
Good Mac. Cool. Well, that's Burger King games for you. Maybe we'll do some more fast food related games. I have an entire list I made of fast food games that I'd never even heard of before. There's some exciting ones in there that maybe we'll touch on in the future.
Or games
So I guess everyone gives it a thumbs up, right?
I give them thumbs up. Play them.
Yeah.
I give them a thumbs up as long as you don't pay more than $3 or $4 a game, and under stipulation you're probably not gonna play them too long. they're pretty repetitive.
Yeah, they're
I'd
$3
say-
each new on eBay.
If you're only playing by yourself, Sneak King's the one you'll have the most fun with.
Yeah.
If you're playing with friends and with family, the other two are better. But like big bumping by yourself, it's no fun.
But if you're playing this with friends and family, I think you should probably reconsider some of your life choices. At that point.
Well, it's because you spent too much money on food and beer, where you need a $3 game to entertain the family.
Well, yeah, you spent $15 on a meal at Burger King now. The games you won't even have money for other games. These are all you can afford, and that's Burger King gave us mercy and grace by releasing these games. These are the King's sacraments right here. The real presence exists within these games of the King.
Think about it, you get 3 games for the price of 1 meal.
Has anyone been to Burger King? What's the price of like a Whopper meal now?
It's like $15.
Yeah,
Like 15?
Yeah, it's
For-
up there.
So you get the games for cheaper.
For a medium fry, medium drink, and a Whopper, it's pushing up. It's like $12 or $13.
Buy the game
So-
instead.
If you
Buy
have
the
a choice
game
between the
instead of
meal and the
Oreos.
game, buy the games, right?
And if you get really hungry, you can eat the plastic. So
Yeah, it's better for you than you'll be big.
it's the same thing that's in their food anyways. So you're good.
It's filler.
We're slandering the King now, and you know what happens when
Yeah.
you slander the King.
He's sneaking around. He's coming
Cease and
over here. Right?
desist letter.
Yeah.
All right,
Cool. Well,
orders.
thanks everybody
Right,
for
everybody.
tuning in. And as we here at Techegy always say, have it your way and stay nerdy,
nerdy,
my
my
friends.